and stuff.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And I've seen some of the stories from some of these PTA moms or whatever who are doing Onlyfans, and they're getting bullied and their kids are getting bullied. And absolutely, I think that's the case. But I think the only way that's ever going to change is if people are doing it. Like they wouldn't be making the content if there wasn't a market for it, right? If people weren't consuming the content, they wouldn't be making it. And they're making, like, some of these women are making tens or thousands of dollars a month or hundreds of thousands of dollars. I saw an interview with a woman who was making $300,000 a month on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
$300,000 a month.
And then there's the opposite of, like, whoever it is, like maybe they don't have anybody, right? Because they don't.
Sure.
So there's, like, whatever that percentage is. I assume is like maybe the top 10% or something like that, or top 1% make the 300 or.
I'm sure. I'm sure it breaks down roughly the same way that podcasts do.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's the equivalent of the Groundless podcast of some woman posting her boobs, and getting just enough money to pay her hosting costs.
But they do it I think you're right.
I'm sure that's probably the case, but there are a lot of success stories there. But anyway, so that's the number one movie. I don't know how we got to OnlyFans.
You just go on wild things, man.
So Happy, Pharrell Williams, third week at number one is our top 40 song. That one I think is going to be around for a while, but our Florida man story is quite something. So the headline is Florida woman sets man's car on fire after he refused to buy her McFlurry. A Florida woman set a man's car on fire after he refused to buy her a McFlurry from McDonald's for dessert. Terrified diners said inside the Southside Jacksonville branch said the alleged arsonist was bickering with the man about what to eat at 12:30 a.m. Sunday morning, the Lord's Day.
Yeah.
The Lord's Day. We're at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Arguing about flurries. And this guy says, next thing you know, she says, I'm going to blow it up. And we were wondering, what are you going to blow up? The alleged firebug then grabbed the keys to his 1994 Eldorado and ran outside. Grabbing a gasoline can, she poured it over the vehicle before dropping a match and setting it on fire.
Jesus.
So there's a photo on our Twitter account of this car on fire. There are multiple photos in the article. And where it gets really weird, because it's Florida, of course, witnesses tried to help douse the flames, but it soon became entirely engulfed. Once firefighters put the blaze out, the man disappeared, and even more bizarrely, so did the vehicle. It was 1 second here, 1 second there, gone. Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has revealed that the license plate did not match the vehicle. An investigation into the incident is ongoing. So there's all sorts of fun stuff going on here.
Well, number one, how is that McFlurry machine not broken at 12?
Yeah, that is a great question.
I think there's like a whole racket of like how these machines get broken, and there's only one like dealer or one company that can service them because of their franchise.
It's Apple's business model. Yeah, it's the same business model. We'll sell you the hardware, but you can't service it yourself because everything inside is a trade secret. So only we can service it for you.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right. Well, there's also a pretty well kind of fleshed out theory that the actual truth of the matter is that most of the time the ice cream machines aren't in fact broken, but they don't want to clean them, so they say they're broken.
Jeez,
that is the operating theory for what actually is going on with the ice cream machine at McDonald's.
I'm looking. I just Googled it right now, and it says just like this, the top article. It says it takes nearly 4 hours to clean and sanitize the ice cream machine.
There you go. Yeah,
there you go.
So who can blame them, right?
Yeah,
for not wanting to sell that. Well, I don't know what a McFlurry costs these days. It's probably like $7, I suppose. But I think they used to be like $1.49 or something like that.
99 cents probably. Like way
you know
back
what?
then.
There was on the dollar menu. They had like a mini version or something. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Well, anyway,
I remember 39-cent hamburgers and 49-cent cheeseburgers, something like that, over at McDonald's way back in the day.
Old.
Yeah. It would be like a not even a dollar menu. It would be like the whatever 99-cent menu.
I remember when McDonald's introduced the dollar menu. I do remember that. That was a very big deal at the time. Yep. And you could get a cheeseburger or a regular hamburger or like a four. Actually, I think the 6-piece chicken McNuggets may have been on the dollar menu when it first dropped.
Oh yeah, it's very possible.
I think it was. So yeah. Anyway. I haven't been to McDonald's in literal years, so
I know. Same here. It's been like so long.
So I haven't seen any cars on fire. But let's get into our episode here. We've got a lot to talk about. So I don't know. There's so much that's going on in this episode. Kendall is out walking Chelsea at the very beginning. She takes off after a cat, or he takes off after a cat, gets hit by a car. Chelsea's dead. And to compensate, Kendall runs off because he's afraid that Danny's going to kill him because the dog's dead. So probably a safe assumption, I think. But
yeah.
But and then we get Dewey. So last update on Dewey that we saw, Dewey was driving the tow truck, hauling the Pinto. I think it's a Pinto. Is that a Pinto? Or is it a Gremlin?
Don't know.
I don't know. Anyway,
might have been a Gremlin.
It might have been a Gremlin. I don't know. But he's hauling it away, and he runs over Miller, the DEA agent, who, by the way, we declared dead in the last episode. He is not, in fact, dead. He is. He just has a broken pelvis. Yeah, that sucks. He wishes he was dead. That's all. So, so Dewey's calling his girls. He's calling the working girls at Audrey's and telling them, "Hey, get ready to get out of town. We're getting out of here." The ones he was partying in the pool with. And he says Dewey Crow's come into something of his own, and it's time to get out of town. And so they're packing and getting away. One of the things I noticed, I don't know if you saw this or not, behind Dewey while he's talking on the phone in that scene, there's a big sign that says it's the Officer Tom Bergen Memorial Highway. Did you see that?
Oh, I did not. I missed that. Yeah. Okay.
It's a cool little detail. That's hard to see, and you only see it for like a half a second, and the rest of the time you just see like Officer Tom or whatever. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty neat little tribute to Tom Bergen. So so let's see. Miller's not dead. Ava. Yeah, Ava Ava's been in state prison for a while. We don't know exactly how long, but it's been a few days at least. And she's just now finally getting a visit from Boyd. And I have a clip of that.
I think I finally got a line on the fella that put you in this mess. He ain't been easy to find, but I think I finally got that possum treed. Now listen to me. Once he recants, and he's gonna recant, all this will be over.
All this time, waiting on you to come up with a plan to cut me loose. Thinking somehow you'd be able to pull it off.
Well, and that's what I'm doing, baby. That's what I'm in the process of doing.
Let me finish. I realize now it ain't hardly right to ask. You done everything you could do to bring about an end to this, but there ain't no end to bring about. And the longer I keep wishing there was, the more intolerable my situation.
What are you saying, Ava?
There's things I gotta do in here in order to survive, and the less you got to do with them, the better. Boyd, I'm saying goodbye. I don't want
Ava,
you coming back.
Ava, woman, do you know what I've done for you? Do you have any idea what I've had to do for you?
I do. There's not a day goes by I don't think
Well, I
about
don't
it.
think you do, or else you wouldn't be having this conversation
Boyd.
with me
Boyd.
right now.
I love you. I always will, okay? Guard.
So yeah, so Ava essentially dumps Boyd. I mean, there's a little bit of nuance going on here, and this is probably as good as the Ava plot gets in the entire kind of 5th season.
Yeah.
But basically she's now made the decision that she needs to get her mind right because she's not getting out. And if she's got to get her mind right, she's got to come to accept the things that she's going to have to do while she's in there. And in order to both protect herself from Hope and also to protect Boyd from potential implication, she's decided she's going to cut ties with Boyd. She doesn't want him to try and get her out. She is done. She's going to do what she needs to do to survive, which in this case means killing Judith and smuggling heroin into the prison in order to survive and cope and deal with having to be in state prison for an extended period of time. And Boyd doesn't handle it well. I think what's very telling here, from my perspective at least, is that Boyd immediately makes it all about him.
Yeah.
Like she's talking about the things I have to do to survive in here long term and how it's better if you're not a part of it, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, do you know the things I've had to do for you? Like, yeah, dude, I'm sure she's not struggling at all in there. Maybe you should ask her how things are going instead.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That was the first thing.
So, what do you think?
I think that that would probably be the move. I mean, you always have to have hope, right? I mean, even if you're in prison, I suppose.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, there's so many. It's such a trope, right? This whole concept of hope in prison, and Shawshank and the Green Mile, and I mean, you name it, right? Cool Hand Luke, like go back, and Cool Hand Luke is actually a really good example because this is her saying to herself, I've got to get my mind right. Right. That's where I pulled that from. But yeah, it's, you got to get, you're not going to need a third set of chains because you're going to get your mind right.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on with Ava right now, I think.
She has, because I always think about The Sopranos, right? Like when Tony was talking to Dr. Melfi about, like, well, homosexual activity, is common.
Sure,
I mean,
yeah,
I think you have to like set your.
We look the other way. We get a pass. You get a pass
yeah.
for that. That's what you get a pass for that, is what he said.
Yeah. So Ava might have to shank somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
So
essentially the same thing, just with a knife instead of your penis.
Yeah.
So that's where Ava's at. You know what? Let's get her out of the way. Actually, because we've just got a couple of other things here to talk to about Ava, and we'll just get that plot line completely resolved. So we get a clip later where Ava's looking for an opportunity to whack Judith, and sees Judith go off to the bathroom by herself and is like, okay, this is my shot. So she grabs her shank and she goes to approach Judith in the bathroom, and they have a little conversation. I don't have a clip of it. What I do have is a little comment, and I say my comment says they talk about men and hair because it's a women's prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I don't know if that says more about me making that joke or more about the writers for writing it the way they did. But I mean, that is what they talked about, was men and hair. They talked about Boyd and Ava breaking up with Boyd, and they talked about her sassy new haircut. And Judith said she liked it. So I again, women lying to other women. It's just
well, it's always the interesting, the observation of when somebody gets a new hairstyle. It's like new attitude, like a new haircut.
Right. Yeah. Ava's just become a ruthless, murdering drug dealer because she got her sassy bob. So she doesn't kill Judith in that scene because they get interrupted by the guards doing a toss of their beds, Penny comes to get Ava to warn her that this is going to happen, and picks up on the fact that she's about to whack Judith. She confronts her later that, hey, you were going to kill Judith. And she's like, yeah, I want you to kill Judith. I'm willing to